Okay, so today I'm actually heading back out to an estate sale that I hit up yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't wear my GoPro because I thought this was one of the companies that didn't allow me to film inside, but I was wrong. I totally should have brought my GoPro because I've scored huge at that sale. You might have seen the video I posted of that. All right, guys, sorry, I'm filming this from inside the car. It's raining outside right now, but I just left an estate sale right over there, and I got some crazy stuff. Look at this, all this video games, tons of video game stuff, manuals, games itself, lots of plush. We got Molly, Spike and Tommy, the original Nintendo display stands for the NES. But yeah, so today I am heading back out there for day 2 of the sale. Hopefully going to pick up some more goodies because it was a really good sale. And yeah, hopefully we're going to find some more stuff. We're pulling up at it now. Oh, and I will go through everything that I picked up yesterday at the sale as well later on in this video. That's the main reason I'm making this, because I got some really cool stuff yesterday. All right, gonna start in the basement. Found a lot of stuff down here yesterday. All right, so looks like the DSs are still here. These are priced at 32 bucks a piece. They're untested, so I don't know if I'm gonna grab these. 14 bucks for original DS. Look at that, the hinges broke though. Looks like nobody really touched the Connects yesterday. Each bag's like 20 bucks a piece. So today it'd be 10, but I don't do anything with Connects. I'll pass on those. There's a Transformer though. I don't know how I missed that yesterday. That's a newer one, it's like 2000s Transformer, but still. Oh, the Mighty Beans are still here too. I saw these yesterday, they were 10 bucks a bag. There's 2 bags. There's a decent amount in there. They don't sell for much, but I think they're 5 bucks a bag today. I'm gonna grab those. I'll just lot them all up and sell them all together. Oh, here you go. This is actually a little bowler for you guys. These old Intex volleyballs actually have a decent little value behind them. $1. That's totally gonna be worth it. Actually, I saw these yesterday too. I think these were like 14 bucks yesterday. Yeah. They're old cap guns, and it's got the double holster. So they're 7 bucks today. Grab those two. Alright, let's go up here to the bedroom now. There's actually a whole room of toys. Yeah, still a ton of plush. Okay, I just raided that plush pile again. I got more yesterday, but I am going to grab a couple today. Ducky over here, and Wishbone, and 2 small Wishbones. I'll probably lot these 3 up and sell them together. Ducky is just fun to see. I did want to check the watches again. I went through these yesterday and bought a few, but I might have missed some. There were quite a few people looking at them yesterday. That's kind of cool. Look at that. There's a Casio data bank. It's nice. Actually, there's a second one right there. The span's broken on them, but they're still good. A little G-Shock. It's kind of a weird looking pocket watch type of thing. Timex Marathon. Oh, I didn't notice this closet yesterday. There's not much in it, but who knows? Maybe there's something. Nope, never mind. Conair Quick Braid. I remember these commercials. Actually, I might grab this. Some of these old, like, niche products do have a bit of value. It's priced at 6 bucks, so it's 3 bucks today. Worth a shot. Hey, I'm ready for you today.
$38.50 or 38 is your half off.
38 bucks?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Add that to the 500 whatever I spent yesterday.
Do you want to do Venmo or?
Yeah, I'm gonna Venmo you again.
Okay.
And there we go. Got a bag full of stuff here and another little box over there. Not too bad for a second day. I'm actually really happy with how that went. And on top of that, I got to show you guys what I ended up finding yesterday, because I found some really cool stuff. We'll go over that as soon as I get home. All right, y'all, I'm back home now, and here is an overview of everything that I ended up picking up at that estate sale over the last 2 days. Now, typically, as you guys know, I don't really do haul videos for stuff that I pick up off camera, but in this case, I'm gonna make an exception, because after I posted that video of my Ray-Ban Meta clip in the back of my car, kind of showing you an overview of everything that I grabbed, I had a couple people message me and leave comments saying they'd like to see a full breakdown of everything that I picked up, Plus, I mean, I picked up some really cool stuff at this sale, and I'm excited to share it with you. And just as a little teaser here, the best item that I grabbed was actually a video game that I have never found before and that I thought I would never find in the wild. But before we get to that, let's go through some of the plush. So first up here, we've got Kim Possible. Then we've got Ducky here from Land Before Time, a large Wishbone, 2 smaller Wishbones, a 90s Shaggy, Betty Boop, a whole slew of Neopets from McDonald's, Sandy Cheeks. This one's pretty cool. I actually might end up keeping this one for myself because I played the heck out of this game when I was younger, but it is Wingcap Mario from Super Mario 64. Then we got Pikachu, Gonzo. This guy, I do not know who he is off the top of my head. He was just old looking, so I grabbed him. A Doodle Bear. And then we have what is probably the best plush of the entire lot. You've probably seen me pick her up before, but this is Molly from the Big Comfy Couch. I find her relatively often, and if you can find her in good shape, she's worth like 80 bucks. And on top of that, we also found a smaller Molly, and even though this one's smaller, it's still worth some good money. And then our final 2 down here are this little Muppet hand puppet and Bart Simpson. And then let's just go ahead and finish out this box here. This is just miscellaneous stuff that I grabbed. We got Critters on the VHS, a Sony Walkman, 2 of the Tiger Electronic Poochie Dogs. I actually didn't know what this was when I grabbed it. This is a Sony Discman, but it has a screen on it. I'm not really sure. I just figured for a couple bucks I was gonna grab it. I think this is a camera winder. Yeah, this is a little Canon camera winder. And then lastly, a bunch of watches down here. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 G-Shock watches. I always pick these up because at minimum you're getting like 30 bucks for them. Some of them go for a couple hundred though. This is a Timex Marathon. I'm not really sure what this one is. I just liked how it looked. And then lastly, 2 Casio Databank watches. I always pick these up when I find them. Some of the gold-plated ones can go for some crazy, crazy money. These are probably lower end, especially since the bands are broken, but I'm still gonna grab them for a couple bucks. And now let's move on to the toys. And actually, I'm going to sit down here to show you guys all these. First up here, we've got the Mighty Beans that I picked up today. I actually don't know too much about these. I'm just going to lot them up and sell them as is. The only bean I know to look for is this Moose one right here. He can actually be worth a few hundred bucks, but outside of him, I'm kind of clueless on these. Then we've got the pair of Ponyboy cat guns. This really cool Nickelodeon Rugrats cookie jar from 1998. The Transformer I picked up earlier today. A ton of vintage Power Rangers. And then we got what is probably the best toy of the entire lot here. We got Voltron. Unfortunately, he is missing his accessories as well as the red lion head right there, which is a little unfortunate, but hey, he is majority there, which is awesome to see. And then actually, I have no idea who this guy is. He was just really, really big. He's kind of cool looking, so I grabbed him anyways. If you know who this is, let me know down in the comments. And then actually, there were a couple more guys that I didn't recognize. They just looked like they were pretty detailed, so I ended up grabbing them. I'm not really sure who they are, but I was going to grab them anyways. And then our last couple figures here were Proto Man from the Mega Man franchise. And inside this little container is Metal Greymon from Digimon. And then the last 2 items here were a couple of board games. We got Pac-Man and Payday. So obviously I ended up getting some pretty cool toys out of there and some that are worth some pretty decent money. But now we're going to jump into the stuff that I am really excited about from this haul, the video games. Now, as you can see here, I actually ended up grabbing a lot of video game stuff at the sale, and actually, this whole box of games right here, from like the 64 games, the PlayStation 1 games, the Dreamcast games, these were all in this box like this when I found them, and I ended up just grabbing the entire box before anybody else could, and just bought everything inside. Normally, I don't like to do that, but I'm going to play the clip from my Ray-Ban Metas glasses for you guys, and then break it down to show you why I just decided to grab everything here. So here's my POV from the estate sale. I was actually number 12 in the door today, yet somehow I was still the first one to locate the video games down here in the basement of the sale, and it's going to go quick, so I'm going to have to explain this in a second. But I start flipping through stuff, I'm looking for prices, I see a Game Boy Advance that is priced really well, so I grab that, go back to the games, and start flipping through the games to pick out the individual ones I want, and then pause. I see this one right here, and my heart just skips a beat. Not gonna lie, I kind of panicked here, but I'm gonna play this in slow motion to kind of describe my thoughts in the moment. So I was flipping through the games, I saw this rare one, I had to go back and do a double take to make sure it was what I thought it was, and at that exact same time, I see somebody come up on my right, and he just takes the entire box of handhelds and then scoops some of the PSPs into their bags. I realize, hey, he's not worried about the prices, he just wants everything, so I'm just gonna pick up this box and take everything, commit to buying the entire box, because I am not letting this super rare game slip through my fingers. And the game that I saw, the game that made me pick up this entire box and not take a chance of losing it, was this one right here, Super Bowling on the N64. And if you guys aren't familiar with this game, you should be. And that's because this game right here is actually the second rarest game on the Nintendo 64, right behind Sculptor's Cut. And actually, when I was going for a complete N64 collection back in the day, this was one of the games that I never thought I was going to find in the wild. But luckily, I just ended up finding it today. Now, I'm not actually going for a complete N64 set anymore, but I love that I ended up finding this just sitting in a box at an estate sale. Oh, and did I mention that this one single game right here is worth more than the total I paid for everything at this estate sale? I ended up spending like $525 the first day and like $38 the second day, so like $550 is what I spent. And this game regularly sells for over $600. Now, I'm not going to go through and show you guys every single item here. I will show you like the actual video games themselves, but I'm not going to go through and show you like the manuals. It would take me forever to go through these with you guys. However, I do want to point out two specific ones from in here. We got Waterworld on the Virtual Boy and Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy, which is that console right there, if you guys aren't familiar. But this Waterworld one right here is worth like $70 by itself. And actually, when I grabbed these two Virtual Boy manuals, they were at the bottom of a random box, so I found those separately from all of these manuals right here. These were actually all in this wooden box, and I think they had a sign on them for like $4 for $1. I haven't actually gone through these. I just seen that they were original Game Boy and Game Boy Color manuals, so I decided to grab them. I'm not exactly sure what's in here. I haven't gone through them all yet, but I'm sure there's some cool stuff inside here. Look at that Conker's Pocket Tail. That's decent. Now, moving on to the next box up here, this one has more just random stuff in it. First up here were a bunch of the solitaire handheld games. There was actually a couple boxes just filled with these handheld LCD games. I only grabbed the Yahtzees and the solitaires out of there. There were still quite a bit there on the second day, but a lot of these just aren't worth a ton, except for some of these Radica solitaires. These Radica solitaires, like this one specifically, go for some very, very good money. Then up here we had some more manuals and stuff. There's some like 64 manuals and stuff inside there, as well as a bunch of Nintendo DS games. We had two sealed games. We got classic word games and Mario and Sonic. And then we also had Dead or Alive, Metroid Pinball, which is actually a really good game if you ever see it, Metroid Hunters, Super Mario Bros, Mario Kart DS, Pokemon Pearl, another really good one, and Mario DS. And then finally, the last couple things inside this box were these two clear acrylic cases, which if you don't recognize them, these are actually what the the original Game Boy Play It Louds came in. So I didn't find the Play It Loud Game Boys themselves. I'm sure somebody else probably ended up grabbing them. But just to find the cases by themselves is pretty cool. And now let's finish strong here over with the actual games and cartridges. First up, we had two different Game Boy Advances. We had the Glacier one as well as the pink one. Then for N64, we had Mission Impossible, Madden 99, Tetris Sphere, Duke Nukem 64, Sarge's Heroes, In the Zone 98, Fighter's Destiny, Greatest Arcade Hits, Olympic Hockey 98, F1 Pole Position, a N64 Game Shark, and then, of course, the Super Bowling. Oh, and then also a N64 cleaner kit. Then moving on to the Super Nintendo stuff, we got a really good one here, Contra 3, love to see that sitting there. Magical Quest, Q*bert 3, and Mario Paint. Followed by two NES games, we got Defender of the Crown and Predator. And actually, this is pretty cool here. I didn't know what this was when I grabbed it, but I did look it up when I got home because I was kind of interested. It looked like it might have been some kind of Game Shark, which typically have some value, but this is called a Code Breaker, and this actually had some surprising value behind it. Moving on back to the front here, we had a Dreamcast DMU, we had a Game Boy Advance Game Shark with Lord of the Rings in it, a couple loose DS games in there, PlayStation memory card, I think this is a PlayStation 1 Game Shark right here, and then a couple of original Game Boy games. For these we had R-Type, Wario Blast, and The Legend of Zelda, if that'll focus. Then there was also a Game Boy Game Genie. Oh, this is cool. Golf on the Virtual Boy. This was the only Virtual Boy game that I ended up finding, and it's one that I need. This is one of 4 games left for my collection, so this will bring me back down to 3 games till I am done with the library for this bad boy right here. Now let's finish out the random stuff. Another Game Genie here. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh game from McDonald's. A bunch of disc-only stuff. There was actually a couple of Sega CD games in here towards the back somewhere. There's a PlayStation. They're in there somewhere. There's a couple Sega CD games. Nothing too crazy. And then the PlayStation 1 stuff. We've got Driver 2. Oh, Pokemon Masters Arena. That's not PlayStation. Final 499. The Game of Life. Breakout. The Game of Life again. Road Rash 3D. Castrol Honda. Oh, here's a couple more Sega CD games here. We got Pebble Beach, Links Golf, and Flag to Flag. Those I didn't know were in here behind all these. Then we got Need for Speed, War Gods. That's actually a decent game to find right there. MLB 2000, New Tetris, Circuit Pro Bowling, Arrow Wings, and then we get into the final stuff. The Dreamcast games. And let's just bring these up front because I was pretty excited to see Dreamcast stuff. Dreamcast has actually been going up in value a pretty good amount lately, so really nice to see these. We got Sonic Adventure, Air Force Delta, Toy Commander, Grand Theft Auto 2, I believe that's a pretty decent one nowadays, Caesar Palace 2000, what's this one? Looks like a racing game, Suzuki All-Star, Showtime NBA, NHL 2K, this is a PC game, Sonic and Knuckles, Bass Fishing, and Tee Off. Finally to Tee Off. And that is it. That is everything that I ended up picking up at the sale. I know I went pretty fast through a lot of this stuff, but trust me, it shortens the video down by a lot, and I got to still talk about the really, really cool stuff, the stuff that I'm really excited about, like Super Bowling. I still cannot believe this was just sitting there at an estate sale. And like I said, there is still stuff here for me to go through. I have to go through all of those Game Boy manuals and N64 manuals, stuff like that. If I end up finding something cool in there or worth a lot of money, I'll be sure to post it over on my Instagram or Facebook story. So if you want to keep updated, make sure you're following me over there. But man, do I wish I would have brought my GoPro on the very first day of the sale because there was just so much good stuff here. But now I know for next time that this is one of the companies that does allow me to film at their sales. And I guess I'm gonna wrap things up here. My camera's actually almost out of battery now, so thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully you still enjoyed this haul and you learned a thing or two. If you did, please go down low, smash that like button for me, and hit that subscribe button to catch more content like this. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace. Woo!